Self-fed activists, body positivity activists, whatever you want to call them, they like to say a lot of things online and many things that I am critical of, as you may have seen here on my channel. But if there's something that is common amongst them, is that women or fat women or women in general, they don't owe you their health. You can't judge them for just existing in their bodies. You should never comment on somebody else's body. You can't tell a person's health by just looking at them. That's impossible. And them posting their bodies do not promote obesity. They're just posting their bodies, right? And this seems like very much established. But then, oh yes, my dear, then we had the Oscars 2026. That happened 10 days before I'm recording this video on March 15th. And these rules that seem to apply to women, to everybody, well, apparently they just apply to fat women because everybody else is open for judgment. And oh my God, the hypocrisy was screaming. And you might be asking yourself the question, Ira, are you stealing Sam's at any size idea? Oh yeah, I am. Hi Sam, how are you? I saw this video on her channel. I said, oh my gosh, I need to talk about this because I hate the double standards for anything. But to see like body neutrality, love yourself at any size, girlies, talking about women's body on the red carpet at the Oscars, I was just like, wow, like you're handing it to me. Like you're just like here, you know? And I'm not so much on TikTok, so I didn't really caught up with this trend. But Sam, thankfully, posted her video that I'll, of course, link down below. Hi, Sam, if you're watching. And hi, everybody, if you're watching. My name is Ira, and we like to be petty here, but we like to be educated as well. We are refined petty people, okay? We're going to be deep diving into some TikToks from some girlies who are body positivity, of course, but only when body positivity is for fat people. The reaction at the Oscars, how they talked about women at the Oscars, is for me more than enough to prove that body positivity care only about the body and the standards and the mental health of fat people. And we're going to start just like Sam did with Jamila Jamil, which is an actor. She's British. I know her from The Good Place. I loved her character, but she tends to make some very controversial statements. And let's start by watching what she had to say about the bodies at the Oscars.
I'm someone who is critical of the glamorization and normalization of eating disorder culture in the entertainment industry. And sometimes when I talk about it, some people push back.
In the entertainment industry, but not in general, right? If you have fat people out there on the internet glamorizing EDs and being obese, that you're fine with it. Okay.
Not many, thank God, but some people do, going, you shouldn't be commenting on women's bodies. And while I do appreciate that, I think that that is a disingenuous way to shut down a pivotal conversation about the fact that anorexia is the leading cause of death of any mental illness. This is really serious. This is
Yes, and heart diseases are the leading cause of deaths in the world. And you know how you can avoid them? By not being obese. But I'm not saying that we shouldn't be worried about Anna. That's not what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is that maybe you're being a bit hypocritical, just like maybe.
Life or death we are talking about. Less than 30% of people ever recover from anorexia once it takes hold of them. And then we are seeing it glamorized en masse across the industry, which bleeds into cultures, it bleeds into society, it bleeds into schools.
Then how come BED is the number one ED in the world? Again, I'm not advocating for Anna. Again, I do think that media and all of that can, of course, influence our behavior. But if you were a person that did not advocate so much for body positivity, I would have no problem with you sharing this idea. The problem is that you're out here talking about, like, oh, your fat body, it's not problematic, and X, Y, and Z, when it is very much so.
We can see that this is not just a health kick that Hollywood has undergone, okay? Because when that happens, you can see a bit of visible muscle, you can see more skin vitality, people look healthier, they don't look gaunt, they don't have hair loss, they don't lose their skin vitality, they don't have visible muscle loss, they're not shaking.
So she's basically calling all these women who were in the red carpet pretty much like zombies, shaking in the red carpet. Well, if you have an example, and I'm genuinely asking you that, please post it down below.
On the red carpet, they're not hunched over, they're not hobbling where they used to stride. This is very
okay, I question a lot of these women dresses choices. I was like, do you pay someone like Ana de Armas, like, fire your stylish, like, ASAP? Like, people, do you pay other people to dress you up like this? Like, I'll dress you up better for much less. And I am no fashion expert, but I did not see any women in the red carpet like, hi, people. Look, again, I think these people and I live in different dimensions.
visibly a frailty and fragility beauty standard that has taken hold of our society. And it has to be called out because it cannot be a homogenized beauty standard from all women and all girls of all different genetics and ethnicities and ages and heights. We're not supposed to all look exactly the same.
Yes, I agree. That's why I think we should be healthy, but you cannot assess someone's health based on the way they look. Isn't that what you say? I thought that's what you guys used to say over and over and over again. Right? And I don't know, but it sounds a little bit hypocritical that you are here pretty much walking over women at the Oscars.
A homogenized beauty standard set by pedophiles that we now know are the decision makers of our entire industry and culture at large. It goes along with the hairlessness and the youthfulness and the facelifts and everything. We're all supposed to look 19.
Which she, of course, never does. I mean, she's completely natural here. She has never undergone any beauty procedure, right? Right?
Forever. And it is incredibly distressing. And I do understand why you feel uncomfortable that anyone would not feel great about whatever body they have. We're not trying to shame or hurt anyone, but unfortunately
we're not oh my God, we're not trying to shame or hurt anyone, but we're just gonna go and say they look gaunt. They have shown like hair loss. They're like crouching and they're shaking and they look visibly unhealthy, frail. No, but we're not going to shame anyone here. We're not doing that. We're not doing that. Oh, wow. Well, invite me when you're shaming someone.
It takes calling out to bring awareness to something. How do you think the body positivity movement came in? It was because it wasn't
It was because fat people just wanted to be fat, not take accountability for their decisions, remain fat, and say that fat and health has nothing to do with one another. That's what it is. Okay. And the fact that you are so openly talking about it and you would never dare to do otherwise when the vast majority of the US population is overweight and about 30, I think, percent is obese, and you don't call it out and you don't say, hey, y'all, maybe we should worry about our health more. Let's introduce healthy habits. You can lose weight. You can do it sustainably. Like, don't go crazy on crash diets. No, you don't dare say that. So you don't get to come on your TikTok and criticize other women because they look too skinny for you. I'm not saying that skinny is the right lane. I'm not saying skinny is healthy. I'm not promoting that here. I'm not promoting Anna. I'm not saying that, oh, Anna is fine. That's not what I'm doing here. What I'm doing here is like it's been oh my god, it's been completely like aggravated by the hypocrisy. Because like, and that is so amazing because you seem to care about the health of skinny people, but you don't give a fuck to the health of fat or obese people. That's what it seems to me. For you, that for all like you care, they can die tomorrow. It doesn't really matter, right? But skinny people, no. We have to look after their health. You're sending me like very conflicting messages here, Jamila. It's not making sense to me what you're saying.
Coincidence where we all woke up and just decided to suddenly eat and be free. It was women like me, including literally me, saying, looking at Hollywood, pointing it out, sometimes even pointing out the most extreme individuals and going, this is a visible mental health disorder and we should not be glamorizing it. We said enough is enough.
When has women in Hollywood ever been overweight or muscular, if not for a role? If they're not doing a Marvel movie, when are they never skinny? For as long as I can remember, Hollywood beauty standards on women, and now men too, but especially on women, was always very, very harsh. And women had always struggled to keep the like the body, the face they wanted. Is it changing now? Yes, we're seeing like more interesting roles, more roles being given to like 40-year-old women that they call like older women, whatever, or 50-year-old women. But Hollywood has never been these beacon of health or beauty standards to look upon, to look up to. Never. So I don't understand why suddenly she's decided to say something.
And we fought the system. And now we need to come back and do that again. Otherwise, we're going to have another super size zero.
Yeah, because Adele didn't lose weight. That girl, actor from Australia, didn't lose weight. Lizzo didn't lose weight. Yeah, you're right. You're right. The system, like it has changed, y'all. And now it's, like, remember the time Nicole Kidman was fat? Demi Moore had a fupa. Remember that time? Oh, good. Those good old days.
Trend take hold for another 10 years and fuck up another 3 generations of women like the last one did. So I appreciate not wanting anyone to feel bad about themselves.
what about body positivity that is currently fucking up the health of a lot of vulnerable young women that buy into their bullshit, that are tired of trying crash diets over crash diets? Guys, a parenthesis, there's a construction happening here. I hope my microphone's not picking that up, but I am going to murder someone today. But what about that? You know, because it's very easy for body positivity to just like, like call people in. And then when you see you're saying, oh, no, 95% of diets fail. Like if you diet, your body's just gonna want to go back to its weight. Like your weight was like designed for you even before you were born, and they are just like eating, and then they die very, very young before they have a chance to even enjoy an adult life because they can't get out of bed. How about that?
I'm living in a slim body. I'm not body shaming myself. I'm not body shaming anyone else who's naturally, doing whatever they're doing or healthy.
I'm not. God, I am not body shaming. Like, I'm not. Do we need to go back to the beginning of her TikTok? How you talked about these women bodies? What?
Healthily doing whatever they're doing to be whatever size they want. I'm talking about a visible mass eating disorder culture taking over the entertainment industry that is endangering every single woman and girl, especially, who is witnessing it and thinking that that is the key to love and attention and acceptance. We have to do better than this.
First of all, I think that she's overestimating the power that Hollywood has on our culture right now. I'm not saying that they don't. Of course they do. But it seems like it's not like it used to be before, when like you had movie stars, like you'd go to a movie because these actor was in it, like now we have franchises, like you go to a movie because it's part of a franchise. So it's not like they hold this influence as much as they did in the past. And we have social media. And I think that social media, in my opinion, has the potential to hurt much, much more than the red carpet at the Oscars. Well, by the way, like I don't know how their number was this year, but like they have been losing like viewers year after year. So I think social media has completely changed and redefined where our standards are coming from. So I think she's overplaying like movie stars in Hollywood. Not that they don't have any, of course they do influence us, but I think she's overselling it.
We know too much now. We know too much about the organ damage and bone density damage that comes along with these things. It's not worth.
And we also know the problems with the bone, like with the bones and your joints and your heart. Like I saw yesterday video posted by Honey Bison, and I could not even watch the video that they show like visceral fat, what it looks like. Like you can literally like only see fat. We know all about the dangers of being like with in a bigger body, but you don't talk about that, do you? You don't.
worth it. I did it. It wasn't worth it. It's been 10 years since I've recovered and I'm still dealing, and I will forever be dealing with the damage I did to my body and my wonderful, vital youth that I would do anything to get back. So I'm going to keep shouting about this to stop you from making the mistakes that I made.
Again, I think I 100% think it's valid the place that she's coming as an ED recovery. I don't know. Like, I think it's a fair point for her, like, to come and want to share her opinion, her point of view. Again, my problem is with the fact that she doesn't seem to hold the same standards for fat people.
Because I did it, and I was in this industry that pushed me to do it and perpetuated my continuation of this awful, hideous disorder. Love you loads. I'm sorry if I've pissed you off, but I'm tripling down on my decision to do this in this way so that we stop the rot and stop the madness.
Stop the rot, stop the madness. Well, this was Jamila Jamil, which again talks a lot about body positivity. And again, for me, what really pisses me off is the hypocrisy, because all those rules I stated in the beginning don't seem to apply to other influencers that are being like very, very damaging to a young, impressionable audience as well. I know, yeah, the parents, like, first of all, many times parents are the enablers, but that's not what I'm talking here. It's just the fact that people so freely go on the internet to talk about skinny people. And they usually don't get backlash, right? But if you talk about a fat person, you get backlash. Like, I thought it was so funny because I got a comment like, "Oh, are you like you're starting this channel to save up for a rhinoplasty?" And I was like, "Oh, funny that you're criticizing me for talking about somebody else's body by criticizing my body." So, like, again, the hypocrisy. And by the way, I like my nose. It's big. I know. But let's now take a look at some other TikToks and see how they reacted to the Ozempic red carpet, apparently. And we're starting off with this one here. Let's see what she has to say.
Where someone referred to the Oscars as the Skinny Olympics, and I have a comment. And this is not an original thought, okay? I saw this on Facebook, so I'm going to repeat it. If you were to go somewhere and you see a dog, I love dogs. Everyone loves dogs. If you don't like dogs, scroll. I don't trust you.
Agreed.
If you were to see a dog that's like, you see every single rib on that dog's body, and it's just like so skinny, you'd be like, wow, that is not a healthy dog. Those owners need to take care of that dog better. Like, different situation.
Imagine you see a child and you see this child, you look at this child, and this child is huge. You can see the fat rolls. The child can barely run. The child can barely participate in the games with his friends, unless it's online gaming. This child only eats ultra-processed food, mainly ultra-processed food. If I say that this child is unhealthy and that their parents are, well, basically like mistreating this child, you would call me fatphobic. You would say that I am causing trauma. That by making this child diet, I'm setting him or her for failure in the future because of weight cycling, right? Because that happens with 100% of people that diet. But somehow, yet, right? We it's okay to compare women to skinny dogs. Wow. But continue.
Greyhounds, blah, 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 blah. Moral of the story, not every human is a greyhound. And no, I'm not trying to be like, oh, 600-pound life, that's a healthy girl. But you need to understand the different, like, curvy can be healthy, skinny can be healthy, but skinny does not equal healthy. So all these freaking actresses that's not how they have been their entire lives. Like, whenever you're skinny like that, a lot of the time you're
Look, again, not defending skinny, but when you choose a job, let's say you want to be a model, you want to be a successful actor in Hollywood, there are some things you will have to do. And for women, unfortunately, most of the time that includes being skinny. You cannot say that they are unhealthy either. Now, can you? Because after all, number one, women don't owe you health. Fat people don't owe me health. Skinny people don't owe you health. So why are you making an argument for their health? But the same cannot be done for fat people because they don't owe you your health. Oh, it's because they're oppressed. Okay. So what? They're oppressed because they're let me formulate this better. They are oppressed by something that they themselves can change. It's different from your ethnicity, your skin color. Can't change those things. How your body looks, you can. And I don't understand why they go on TikTok and all they do is complain about how miserable their lives are because they can't find clothes, blah blah blah. But they refuse to solve all of these problems by losing weight. Not saying that losing weight is easy, but you got people like Samira, wealthy. She has money to go and buy a first class ticket on the counter at Delta Airlines. She can afford a therapist. She can afford a good dietitian. She can afford a personal trainer that are all going to work together like a disciplinary thing. They're all going to work together to address her size. But no, she'd rather go to clothes stores and complain that they don't go up to her size in the store and only online. Weird how that happens. I don't get it.
you've been small. That's just how your body's built. For example, Emma Stone. If she has something medically going on, I'm going to eat my words. I apologize. I'm so sorry. I don't want to assume anything. I'm using her simply as an example. I looked at her and I'm just like, dang, I don't want to say she doesn't look good, but every little bit of meat is off of.
But you want to say nothing tastes better than skinny. I'm sorry, but that's how I felt. She wanted to communicate.
Her bones. Why is this fashion? And I know I'm speaking as a 200-pound whale. I look good, but I'm still 200 pounds. I guess I'm just ready for the point where that's not as normalized. I mean, obviously, all bodies are beautiful and all, but I
I
just wish
love
that
how, like, disclaimer, I still believe that all bodies are beautiful, but I'm just gonna come here and say that a certain type of bodies should not be normalized. And I wonder why, if all bodies are beautiful, what's wrong with one type of body? I don't know.
wasn't like the ideal body nowadays.
Um, ye- when people talk about like the body positivity, and back in the day, like curvier bodies were like the standard, something like that, right? It was the hourglass body, thin waist, large hips, big butts. But it was never like being fat or overweight. And I find it interesting that she brings Emma Stone, right? Everybody seems to be alarmed by Emma Stone. And I have here Emma Stone's pictures on the Oscars 2025. That's what she looked like. She was never like muscular. She had always thin arms, like if you look here at her chest, that's Emma Stone in the 2026 Oscars. Is she different? Yes, because she had something done to her face. I particularly prefer this Emma Stone. And the dress she's wearing makes her look skinnier. That's the type of dress I wear. I would rather wear when I was like obese, because like it's tighter here on the like breast, but it loosens up. But check this area here, right, over her chest area, and compares to last year's. Like, do you see a drastic difference? Do you see her ribs here? I don't. I don't see her ribs here. Her arms, skinny then, skinny now. Even the little like, well, I want to call it a fat or roll. Like even this little like thing here, still here. So I don't understand why they took Emma Stone for Christ. I don't know. And decided that she would be the culprit. She would be the face. People used words like emaciated. Like the words we use to describe children that starve in Africa. That was the word that some of people used to describe these actresses. And I was like, have you lost your mind? Oh, God. But let's go to the second one.
Bringing individuals' names into this list? Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Do we need to be bringing individuals' names into this list? Yes, absolutely. This is not a personal failing, it is a collective issue. So what's happening is that we're having this very stagnant conversation where one person says,
So
I don't
it
like
says here on her, in case you're just listening, but it says here on, oh God, I don't know what pronouns do you go. The thing is that with TikTok, you never know, like, in the browser, you can just like open a new tab. Let's see, like in all fairness, let's see her pronouns thing. So I'm just gonna use her, but if I'm mispronouncing, if I miss gendering you, I'm sorry. But she says skinny shaming still body shaming in the age of GLP-1.
do we need to be
And I agree. If you tell me, and I agree on the standards of body positivity itself, You cannot talk about anyone's body.
Bringing individuals' names into this list. Yes, absolutely. This is not a personal failing. It is a collective issue. So what's happening is that we're having this very stagnant conversation where one person says, I don't like that the ideal of what a body should look like is shifting in a way that seems familiar and very dangerous to me. And here are 3 names as proof of that happening. And somebody else saying, well, I didn't hear the first part of what you said, but I don't like the second part where you point out people's bodies because I've been told that's bad. That is a thought.
Really? You think that's not okay to say? You don't say. You don't say. Interesting, because when people make the claim that, like having excessive adipose tissue, aka fat in your body, is bad, and like we see every day people dying from heart disease, and people that are overweight or obese, they are more likely to have this. And like we have people like Tess Holiday that promote this type of body lifestyle, and then the person will be like, I know, I didn't hear what you say. First of all, because you can't say you can't talk about someone's health based on their bodies. Second of all, like I don't think that you're talking about bodies here, okay? Funny how when it's the other way around, it's thought provoking. It's making you think critically. It's opening your eyes to make you see the reality, the facts. But when you do it to the other side of the coin, that's discrimination. Got it. Just so that we're on the same page here. Got it.
Stop being cliche. They're shutting down critical thought about the first thing, focusing on the second thing. And I don't know why. I mean, I know why, but if I were to speak to one of those people, I'd say, why?
Of course you know why. Your movement was the one who said that, not me.
You think you're contributing? If you see what's happening, which I guess they don't, but if you see what's happening, you cannot in good conscience.
Well, I see what's happening. The number one cause of death in the world is heart diseases. The vast majority of people in Brazil, in the US, are either overweight or obese. What else? BED patients are larger than Anna and Mia combined. Having excess fat can cause you to develop a vast number of diseases, and it's something that you can change yourself. Obesity has become an epidemic, and yet, if you talk about that, you're the problem. Alrighty.
Tell me, you think that's headed toward a culture that body shames less? Do we need to be bringing individuals' names into this list? Yes.
Okay. You're talking about like body shaming? Like, again, I don't think where these people came with the idea that people in Hollywood were not fat. I'm sorry, we're not skinny. Jesus, people. They were always skinny. Always. And I don't know why. I think it's because before, being skinny was something that was kind of reserved. It wasn't that it was reserved, but it was kind of like more difficult to achieve, because like the there were more hoops, like because you needed to meal prep, and then you got tired from work, and you don't have a maid, and you have to clean your apartment yourself, and then you gotta go to the gym, and you gotta do all this stuff, and people with a certain like a certain social class, they can maybe have a cleaning person or a maid, or they can have someone prepare their meals and all of that. So it was a more like it was easier to achieve if you were from like an upper class. But now with GLP-1, losing weight has in a certain way become more accessible to people, you know? And I think that's bothersome for people in general. It's just like the um like the rich, like the I forgot, like that thing, like, oh, you shouldn't be showing off logos because I'm like the old rich style. Like how like years and years ago you'd see influencers, rich people traveling with their Louis Vuitton bags and luggages, and showing off like Chanel, whatever it was that they were wearing. But then more people started to have access to these brands. So now it's like, oh, no, 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 no. We don't show brands because that's tacky. I feel like because weight loss is more accessible now, people are criticizing it more because it's more like it's no longer like the lower part, like side of society has an easier way to access it. So when people are, I don't know, they're not fine by that. Now this last one here.
If there are any young women
Okay.
watching who saw the Oscars and are now trying to get Kaya Gerber level skinny, let me break it down for you. You're not getting that skinny for a man. You're just not. No man on earth is like, yeah, that's my barrier to entry. Which means
first of all, you're already like assuming that people are changing their bodies because of to attract a man, and not because they're not happy, they're not comfortable. Like, wrong.
that you are losing all of that weight for a very specific group of women who will give you props for being ultra thin like that. And let me just save you the hassle. Those women are losers.
Those women are losers. Okay. So we're making moral judgment now on women based on their bodies. If I come here and say fat people are losers, like I never said that fat equals like moral standards or anything like that. But it's okay to call like skinny women losers. And shallow, apparently, because they do it for men.
Now, if you're just naturally skinny, I'm obviously not talking to you. I'm talking about the kind of women who will be beyond
Every person who overeats will get fat.
triggered when they see a thick baddie eating whatever she wants, nourishing her body. And I can just tell you right now, you don't want the approval of those.
Oh my God, there is nourishing and nourishing. There's proper nourishment. Do you have to give up on like everything and only eat like quote unquote healthy food? No. But yeah, if I see a person that only eats ultra processed food and it's selling a discourse online that it's okay to live like this, yeah, that's gonna make me upset because she's gonna be selling that to other women who's gonna unfortunately believe her. And you have created this dome like around these women that like dare, like if someone dares say something about them, about these women, oh my god, you're fatphobic. You're an awful person. They're just nourishing their bodies.
Women. If there are any young women watching who saw the Oscars and
What? I'm sorry, I missed the
beyond
ending.
triggered when they see a thick baddie eating whatever she wants, nourishing her body. And I can just tell you right now, you don't want the approval of those women. If there are any young women
You don't want the like so skinny women. Just let me see if I got it. So skinny women are losers, shallow, and seeking other women and men's validation. That's it. That's it. It's not a personal choice. No, 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 not at all. You're okay. All right. So, okay. A great way to see that probably you hold yourself up, right? You think that you are better than other women or other people because you, when you see a big thick woman nourishing her body, you don't make judgments. But a skinny woman, oh well, no, that's a you can judge all you want, they're losers. Wow. Wow. So that just goes to show how this movement is broken and hypocrite. Just like you see that and you're like, okay, yeah, you're a bunch of hypocrites. You're a bunch of hypocrites. And once more, I'm not here trying to make a case. So go, people, be skinny. No, just like eat with moderation. You know, if you see that you're gaining weight, if you're overweight, or if you're obese, seek help. Okay. There are many things that lead someone to obesity and not being able to stick to a diet. Find out what that is. Treat that. Don't go and buy Ozempic because that's just gonna make you like spend money and waste your money because you're treating the symptom and not the cause. You need to go to the root of the problem. You need to treat that. Okay? You do. I was depressed. I was completely dysregulated at the time. When I like after 6 months that I came back to therapy, then I started my weight loss journey. So that's what I think people should do. And don't judge a woman's value based on their body, regardless of their weight. Okay, you cannot say a woman is a loser if she's fat, the same way you cannot say a woman is a loser because she's skinny. I know like there are a lot of skinny women that are very talented and very, very smart. And I wish the women like this or people that say that they are body positivity wouldn't be so hypocrite. Because for me, at the end of the day, that is what makes me very angry. But if you stayed like until here, thank you so much. I tend to talk a lot. So thank you for giving me a part of your day, part of your time. And if you're not subscribed and you're still here, come on, you enjoyed the video. You wouldn't be here if you didn't. So go ahead, subscribe, comment, tell me what you think. If you want to ask me any videos, you can comment down below and stay tuned because part 2 of my Jubilees reaction is coming. I've already filmed it. And also watch my video I posted this week about teenagers taking steroids. Yeah, that's kind of worrisome. Anyways, people, have a good day. If today's your birthday, happy birthday. Subscribe to the channel and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.